Shake me up, blast our life to the place I belong. In Africa, that's where I'm from. And you are listening to Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. My name is DJ TYB, the place to be. And I have with me my sidekick, my sister, my everything, Petra. Petra is in the house. We have a very special show for you today. It is How We Sis to Africa, and it's Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Petra, how you doing?
I'm great, TIB. How are you? Hi, Love Bay family.
Hello.
I'm doing so great. So, tell us what the week has been for you.
The week's been really eventful. It's been really fun, So my uncle, I think I mentioned last week, he was here from the UK. He went back at the beginning of the week, but we went out over the weekend, had some fun, and just mostly just working, relaxing, enjoying what's left of the summer. Like, I'm crying. Like,
please don't talk about the end of summer. Please. Dr. Tapu said it on her program, was it on Tuesday, that we are getting ready to, say happy holidays. I reminded her, doctor, don't talk about Christmas right now. I don't want those white things falling on me. I'm enjoying the weather as it is right now.
I know.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful. I wish I was in Africa. Because beautiful in Africa. Everything in Africa is beautiful.
I know, no snow.
Oh, no snow. Nothing like that. That's why Africa is the continent of the future today, of the future and beyond. Yeah. There's no doubt about it.
Everything.
Yeah. Africa doesn't need the world. The world rather needs Africa.
Exactly.
Everything about us.
Exactly.
So, that is why we are here today to have, a conversation with our sister who is all the way in South Africa. You know what, Petra? I got her music. Prior to that, I have been listening. I like listening to music. And any music from South Africa, I love. Remember when Focalistic was here?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, my brother Focalistic. Yeah, we had fun with him. And everything about South Africa, the music, everything from the apartheid time where we were singing from the heart, from the bottom of the heart, to right now, everything. So I'm so happy that I'm a piano music originated from South Africa. So I'm not so surprised because, you see, when it comes to our music, our history, our culture, our geography, our traditions, I'm blowing my horn right now. On that note, I would like to take this opportunity to, as I always do, Petra, the floor is yours for your first question.
Awesome. Thank you. APHENDULWA, thank you for being on the show. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much. It's truly an honor. I'm okay. I feel good. I'm happy to be here. Like, it's the first time, and this is big for me. I mean, come on. Small girl from the village, and boom, here I am.
Exactly.
So thank you so much. It's truly an honor. I look forward to it. I'm excited. And yes, thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. So I'd just like for you to share with our audience who are unfamiliar with you and your music. Can you just share with them a little bit about you?
All right. And so you're saying I must tell them more about me, ne?
Yeah, let them know all about you.
Okay, thank you so much. There's nothing much to say, but I'll just share the little teeny nyana thing that I have. What can I say? My name is APHENDULWA Nyezi. Born and bred in a small town known as Harding in KwaZulu-Natal, in the province of KwaZulu-Natal. I'm a lover of music. I love music. From a young age, I think, from Sunday school, I was already part of like Sunday school concerts. So I guess that's where all this thing started, because you'd see, how the elders would react. They're like, come join the choir, sing the national anthem, do this. And you're like, "Hey, what's going on?" So it grew like even more as I joined the actual church choir. And okay. And in the church choir, we sing like the choral genre, which is totally different from what, I'm doing today. So I got to learn a lot, musical terms, musical dynamics, notes, like how to, to hear the key of a song, a lot of things. So I got to learn and know a lot of dynamics. And I'd say that I come from a musical family, as much as I can say maybe I'm the first one to actually, just go out there. So it was mostly like them singing in church. So I guess I don't know, maybe the Holy Spirit or what, I don't know. So I'm the one who decided, okay, let me take
Amen.
this further.
Amen.
Yeah.
So I'm the one who was like, okay, let me take this thing further and see how it goes. Because as I was part of the church choir, later on when I had to go to university, when I got there, there's a lot of things. There's sport, there's, academics, obviously, then there's, art, music. So I was more interested in music. I was like, okay, I want to explore more, because in high school, primary, I played sport. There was not much of music. So you find that I'd be exposed to music mostly in church. So when I got to university,
Right.
I'm like, okay, let me just explore this music thing, because people are excited every time I sing. So I'm not sure if they're trying to make me feel good or what's the story. So I'm like, okay, let me just see what happens. So there's a youth society in university by the name of Forhahebe, which means forte at her best. So I attended the University of Fort Hare, which is in the Eastern Cape, the Alice campus. So I joined that society, and we had to prepare for our first show. And I was like, okay, what am I singing? What am I singing? All my life I've been singing choral, but I need to sing something else. And I tried, I think, a Beyonce song, Ave Maria, if I remember correctly. The feedback, the reaction, I was like, what is happening? People, it looks like people love this thing. I think there's something there. So I'd see from, people coming up to me, they're like, oh my goodness, I think there's something there. You need to do this thing more often. I'm like, serious? So, coming from a small town, a rural background, sometimes you just have low self-esteem. You don't really believe in yourself. You really need someone to actually, that motivation to encourage you. So, there are people like that in my life who actually encouraged me. And I was like, okay, let me just try this thing, because like they like, come on, why are you doing this thing? Just do it. Then I continuously, involved myself, in art spaces in school. I eventually joined the University of Forte Choir, which was massive for me, because I remember when it was my first time, being part of the choir. We actually won, the competition. It was these tertiary institutions competing against each other. So we won. I was like, oh my goodness, this thing is getting quite serious. So through that, at university, I met, other individuals who actually produce music. So we'd like, okay, let's collab, because I can't do this thing on my own. And they'd be like, I have beats, but I need a vocalist. I'm like, okay, I think that's something I'd like to explore, because now I was in like explore mode. Like, okay, I'm just doing anything. Now I'm motivated. The fire is burning. So yeah, I met, individuals like National Musicum, born and bred in Zimbabwe, but right now he's based in Johannesburg and Mpumalanga. I met people like May Scott, who's from Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. So from there, things got quite serious, and that's where I got to meet other people, because with this thing, with music, you get to network. Then the next thing, you're in a studio and there's like other people and you're like connecting. So there was momentum now. So basically, that's how this musical journey unfolded. From Sunday school to church, university, and now the next thing, like family gatherings, they're like, okay, if there's a wedding, can you sing for us? And I'm like, okay, let me just.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay, let me try this thing. So I'd see, like, from the reaction, from the feedback, that people actually mean this thing. That you know, like your voice, there's something about it. I'm like, serious? Because every time I'm like, I'm in awe, like, serious. So now I got to learn to actually believe it, start believing it, because sometimes you just like, they just, they're just messing around. They're trying to make me feel good. But
Mm,
now I started believing in this thing, believing in myself that, okay, let me just do this thing. Because now you have other people who want to actually invest in you, who actually believe in you, who actually see potential. And now that, okay, I think this is serious, because people are willing to, cough out money from their pockets so that, the world can see you, the world can hear you. And you're like, I need to take this thing serious, because now for them to take it serious, I need to take it serious first. So, apart from my musical journey, at university, I studied Bachelor of Science in geographical studies, specifically geographical information systems and environmental science. So, because now my parents were like, "Hey, this thing of music, yeah, you're going crazy now. You need to focus on your books. You need to have something to fall on, like to fall back on, in
mhm,
case it doesn't work out." And back then, it was during the era where, like, a lot of artists, we'd hear in the media that, okay, they are involved maybe in drugs, substance abuse, and parents were like, no, 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 you can't go in that industry. You're young.
mhm,
And now already, like, for instance, at university, now that I'm performing and I'm being recognized, I would get invitations that, please, can you please come and perform for us? There are artists that will be coming, so we want someone local also to be part of that. And through that, there are like big artists who wanted to like sign me. Can you be part of our team? But my parents were like, no, you are young,
mm,
fragile, go to school, study, in case this thing doesn't work out. And especially that, I'm a young woman, you know, they thinking that, okay, the kind of environment that I'm going to be exposed
mm,
into, it might not be conducive, the exploitation, the things that we hear that, happen to women, like in the entertainment industry. So I guess they were considering things like that. So I pursued my studies. At the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do that as a side something. Like, I'd go to like a studio, and when I say studio, it's like a back room, or even in like your room in res,
yeah,
in the school residence. So
yeah,
the producer would bring the mic, and we try to block, the echo using our, like pillows and all these things. We just try
yeah.
to improvise.
Mhm,
So, and it's funny because now it produces quality, and you're like, oh my goodness, if there's so much quality in this, then what more, like, if you are in a proper studio. So even
mm,
that gives you drive, like, okay, let me just push until I'm in a proper studio. And that people would encourage us that it doesn't matter, just give it your best, work with what you have, just like how we were discussing with DJ TYB, that we don't have much resources in Africa, we are disadvantaged, but we work with what we have.
yeah.
So, like, for instance, a track that I have with the National Musical Drums of War, I couldn't believe it when it made like waves, because we recorded it in residence, like school, like in
Mhm,
his room. So
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, oh, okay, let's just work with what we have. So
Mhm,
from then, I just took it and ran with it. There are still challenges, but you are like, okay, I'm just moving forward. I'm just moving forward.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, yeah, I continued with my music, meeting other people, performing at weddings, funerals, parties. Um, and mind you, now I'm not charging anyone anything because I'm like, you guys need to hear me first. You guys need to be convinced. Then we
Mm.
can chat about, the ching ching. So it was kind of like, I can say marketing strategy, but okay,
Mhm.
spread the word, tell your friends that there's a new kid in the block. So yeah, I do that. Then continue with my studies because I furthered my studies to my honors in environmental studies.
Amazing.
Then later on, my masters, and now I'm
Wow.
trying to figure a way around that. I need to finish because I left it hanging, and I feel so bad. I guess I was tired, but I'm trying to finish. I want to finish. I mean, education is important as much as entertainment, art is important. So we can't always, discard education that no, because there's a high rate of unemployment, there's no use of studying and stuff. Education will always be important because the basics, that's where you learn, the basics, that's where you learn how to be, like your imagination to expand your vocab, to be creative. So it kind of like really assists. And obviously, there are burning issues that need research, 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 research. So I guess that's what is pushing me that, you need to finish your studies because, research is critical. We can't be using, techniques or methods of other countries. We need to tell our own stories in Africa. So we need to actually put our mind into it. Resources or no resources, we will find a way. We'll find a
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
Yeah. So basically, that's me. Uh, right now, I'm at the Department of Education in the Eastern Cape at Alfred Nzo
Nice.
district municipality, where now I'm assisting grade 12 learners with GIS, Geographical
Nice.
Information System, which is my specialty. So I'm
Wow.
under a program known as SASTA, which is SAASTA, which means South African Agency for Science and Technology Advancement, and the
Nice.
National Research Foundation.
Mhm.
So I assist grade 12 students with, GIS, geography, environmental studies, just to encourage them, motivate them about life after, matric. How's life in university? If you want to take a specific stream, if you want to be a lawyer, or if you want to be a geologist, or if you want to be a hydrologist, what are some of the subjects or things that you need to consider? So I'm kind of like, guiding them and assisting in schools, and obviously assisting with administration work um, in the office also. So that's what I'm currently doing. And yeah, continuing recording, and working with other producers that I continuously encounter and meet up with through social media, through word of mouth. So yeah, basically that's what I'm doing currently.
Thank you so much, Aphendula. Dulwa.
Thank
I really appreciate you sharing. I'm just like in so much awe. I'm blown away.
you too.
Yeah, TYB. I'm like, wow, I'm so blown away because not only are you an amazing musician, like you are very highly educated, and to be able to manage balancing music and also education, I think is such an amazing thing. And I do want to ask you about that, but I also respect the fact that you have so much respect for the wishes of your parents, because I mean,
Mm,
many of us, like myself included, I think TYB can also really as well, like when it came to the music, we were a little bit rebellious because it was kind of like my mom, like she's very much into education, and I got my honors degree as well. But
um,
I,
mm,
against her wishes, pursued music, and I know that same with TYB, like he'll probably share his story about that. But we kind of did our own thing in relation to music
Mm,
versus what our parents wanted. But it's really beautiful to know that you respected your parents' wishes but still
mm.
managed to maintain a balance, you know, to respect their needs, their wishes, and also to still pursue your music. So how did you manage to do that? Like how have you been able to balance that?
Um,
And
what
tell
can
me
I
what the
say?
challenges as well about that as well. That'd be really good.
Yeah. So what can I say? You'd set up a schedule for yourself, honestly. I'd set up a schedule because now I'm doing science. Now you have like chemistry, physics, which have practicals. So during the day, you're in the classroom. Later on, you have like practicals from I think 2 to 5.
Mm,
And now later on, maybe rest, rejuvenate yourself, take a shower, or just, chat with friends. Then you're like, okay, I need to hit the studio like later on. You go, and I mean, we're recording here on campus, so it wasn't an excuse. You just walk like 10, 15 minutes to the other residents, and you're like,
mm-hmm,
okay, record. So, and I guess because in the university on campus, there are like different people, different cultures, and at the
mm-hmm,
university, there's like it's very diverse.
mm-hmm.
You have people like from Nigeria, you have people like from what you call Zimbabwe,
Mm,
like all over the world. So now you kind of like look at the lifestyle, you know, okay, what's bringing us together, the differences, how other people behave, how other people react to certain situations. So now you have like, okay, there's so much I can sing about because there's a lot that is happening. So now you find that everything that happens, you're like, okay, I'm gonna write a song about this thing. So it's basically that now even when you're at the lab or you are in the classroom or walking to the shop from your residence, um, you're already thinking, what story can I tell? Because now
mm,
you just now a storyteller for some reason. Because now, you know, so
mm-hmm.
you're like, okay, what's the and you need to tell something that people can relate
Exactly.
to.
Mm-hmm,
So to just be creating a schedule for yourself.
mm-hmm,
And sometimes it was difficult to stick to that schedule because there's a lot of pressure, with schoolwork. You find that it's weeks without doing any music. Like it's a
mm-hmm,
right. You can't even think now. You're just stressed. So it was just trying to discipline yourself, remembering every time, okay, you need to do you need to remind yourself because it's easy to forget. There's a lot that is happening on campus. It's very easy to deviate, from what you're actually there for.
mm-hmm,
So it takes discipline. It takes being surrounded by people who are like-minded, people who motivate you, people who have the like similar goal, people who
mm-hmm,
want progress. So it would be that you surround yourself with those kind of people. Listen to other people. I mean, be a good listener because people tell you stories.
mm-hmm,
People tell you about their backgrounds. People, so there's a lot. Like now, you're just the sponge. You're taking all this thing like in. So yeah, I'd try to balance in that way, but it was just mostly that okay, books first because now my parents will kill me if I fail. And now there's this thing now that you're kind of popular in varsity, so you can't fail because you're
mm,
popular in
yeah,
Yeah.
music and no more
Hmm.
failing. So what's happening with that? So
mm.
you try. Although I think I failed twice, but it was just like 2 modules, but I tried to pick up. I
Mhm.
have a couple of distinctions though. Okay, I
Well
need to
done,
highlight that.
amazing.
I need to highlight that.
Of
So
course,
yeah,
that's
so
amazing.
yeah, basically that. And just trying to pick yourself up and reminding yourself when you're tired, you need to rest. You need to take
Hmm.
yourself out, buy ice cream, chill with friends,
Yeah,
then go back to it. It's just that it's a cycle. So it takes you to pull yourself out from that place. So it was basically that.
that's amazing. Thank you. Because yeah, I know. the fact that you were doing your recording at university is definitely a plus. It was so close, so it's a lot easier for you to manage. But yeah, having a schedule is definitely important, in order for
Yeah.
you to stay focused and on track in relation to what you're doing. So I know that a lot of our listeners are listening to some of the advice and some of the things you did and taking notes. Even me, I'm taking notes. Having a schedule is very, very important.
Yeah.
For
Very
sure.
important.
I just want to
Yeah,
say hi
because
to Ron. Oh,
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, because now when you have a schedule, at least you can measure your progress. Like, okay, I was supposed to do this.
Exactly.
How far am I? So you need to measure, because you can't just, especially now when you want to grow, there are things that you need to actually apply. You need to measure. You need to look at how far. You need to set, timelines, because at some point I used to procrastinate so much, and I was like,
Mm,
and I read something that procrastination can actually develop like stress, anxiety, because now you're not meeting deadlines, and it's your
mm-hmm.
fault. So now you're depressed because you're not
Yeah.
meeting deadlines, but it's you. You are
Mm.
procrastinating. So,
I
so
love
you know,
that.
so
Taking
it's very
accountability.
important. Yeah. So yeah, I guess a schedule. Like you need to account also. You need to account. You need to be honest with yourself that
Mm-hmm.
okay, was no progress today. So at least if you did 20%, how about 50 tomorrow? Maybe 80 on Wednesday, or just show
Exactly.
up though. Just show
Mhm.
up. Yeah.
That's important. Yeah, thank you. Definitely some
Thank you so
some words
much.
of wisdom. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
thank you. I just wanted to shout to Ron. Hi, Ron. Ron's always listening. He's mentioned he's in the middle of the woods right now. So thank you, Ron. He also has some great questions. I'm sure TYB will mention some of the questions that Ron has for you. So
Yes.
yeah, TYB, take it away.
Yes. Yes. Ron has been Kaz Ron. Yeah. Ron has been giving us some questions for you. We'll come to that. Very great questions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you said something that resonates with me. In Africa, every parent wants their kids to be either a doctor,
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
Yeah.
an engineer, a lawyer. I can
Mm-hmm.
share the same sentiment, like
A
what you've been.
teacher.
When I was in, but it's not right at worst because they suppress talent. Because you'll be able to do something, and then once you know that that craft is good for me, and you say, oh, don't touch that because
Mm,
I expect you to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't help us. Because I wanted to be a pilot, and I'm grounded right now. I'm sitting
Mm-hmm.
here behind a mic right now. Because anytime that I went out there to perform and I'm caught, I got punished. I wouldn't get money to go to school. That was in high school. So I had to suppress my talent until I left Ghana and then came to Canada to pursue my education. And I made sure that I completed the education. And you know what? And I'm enjoying the fact that at least when people are talking about having been to school, university, and something like that, I can also say that at least I have classmates. But having said that, Ron, Ron wants me to ask you a question. You said you were talking about the questions. I mean, the choir. What type of choir? What type of choir were you talking about?
at the university,
Yes, I presume so. Yes.
we did choral music. I'm not sure if you know choral music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we did a lot of choral music, African music, traditional music, classical music. So you'd have a score sheet. It all begins there, like a score sheet with notes. You need to know do, re, mi, fa, so. You need to, like, the maestro takes you through that. So, and I would struggle, but as um as we continued with it, as we rehearsed, because now there's so much discipline that you need to have when you're in a, like, university choir, sorry. Sorry. So you find that we'd have concerts also. Then maybe that's a platform to actually sing whatever that you want. Maybe R&B or Afro soul or Afro pop. But the gist, the primary focus was mostly choral music and classical music. So it was mostly done in isiXhosa because it's in the Eastern Cape. So now I have
Yeah.
to learn, the click sounds, the ta, the or it was very interesting because I
Mm.
come from a Zulu, Swati, Bata background. So now
Mm.
I'm in space, like I need to learn this course. I need to pronounce the words properly, the click
Mm.
sound. Ah, oh,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
so it was very interesting. Yeah. So yeah, it was mostly that.
Yeah. And Ron is saying that as a retired school teacher, says finish your education as knowledge is the key to success, which I kind of agree.
Yeah.
And I think you've already said that based on the fact that your parents have also been cracking the whip, you've been taking it so seriously, and for that, I commend you for that because education is very very vital. Because back in the day, back in the day, people were doing stuff without knowing what they were signing. People were signing stuff. As a matter of fact, we had, was it James Watkins, Petra,
Yes.
correct? He said people were signing contracts without knowing what they were signing. Big
That's
Yeah.
celebrities and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
So if you have that educational background, you are able to control what you can control. Most often than not, um, people, your handlers are the people who sort of will go and read and say, okay, this is good for you. But then you can read and write and then decipher what is best for you.
Exactly.
And having said that, your debut track, Shona Malonga, I love it. I
Thank
love
you
that
so
track.
much.
I
Thank you.
love it. How
Thank
did
you so
you?
much.
Yes, how did you come up? How did you do it? And when I heard Shona, it took me to Zimbabwe. So, what is Shona Malanga? Am I pronouncing it? Yeah, Shona Malanga. Oh, what?
Um, Shona Malanga means when the sun is setting, you know, when the
Mm.
sun is about to leave to another hemisphere. So now it gets dark, you know, and you look forward to the next day because the sun will rise again.
Hmm.
So now with this song, it was during the pandemic, during COVID. Um, Now we on lockdown, we can't, visit our loved ones, our family. We're just there sitting like for days and days. So now everything was like on a standstill, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. It felt like it will never be normal again. It
Mm.
was like, okay, this is the end.
Mm.
So now the song came from a place where I'm just writing to a friend or a loved one that the sun should just set so that when it rises again, it will give us new hope.
Hmm.
Right.
And we'll just another day, some other time, not now, because now we are just, under this dark cloud. We will, fulfill our dreams, fulfill our goals when we see each other again. So it's kind of like a letter, to a loved one, to a friend. So now you're just telling the sun, just keep setting so that you can continuously rise and bring hope, each day. Because right now, the only thing that we need is hope. So
Exactly.
it was during that time. Um, oh, it was a terrible time. It was a terrible time losing family, losing, our close friends, our loved ones. So it
Mm.
was, from that. Um, because there is a part where I'm like, my heart is shattered because we can't be together right now.
Mm,
We can't share much. Yeah, we have like, technology, but it's not the same.
exactly.
Sometimes you want your loved one to be here, like,
Mm,
physically. So it was just that, oh my goodness, this distance is killing me. Uh, I need you here. We need to chat. Look at me in the eyes. We need to
exactly.
fulfill our dreams, but we can't move.
Mm,
So, like, when will it end? So basically, it was that. So it was amazing to see the song, developing into something else where people actually related even beyond, the COVID, the COVID time. So basically, it came out, from that dark space. So thank you
And
so
it,
much
it and
for
it did
enjoying.
well, and it did well, because a lot of people started playing it, and it got good airplay and stuff like that. And I mean, I've been listening to it. I've been playing it. We've been playing it on air, and we'll come back
I
to
really appreciate it.
Ekusasa, which is your latest.
Yeah,
Um,
yes, yes.
who has been your biggest music influence?
That's very difficult to answer because
so many.
everyone, everyone, if you are a musician, like there's something that I need to take from you. Because now my mother is a lover of music. So I remember growing up, she had like cassettes, like tons, from gospel to R&B to reggae music, from Ubaba Lucky Dube, Umama Rebecca Malope, you know, choir groups like Witness of God, R&B like Brandy, like, a variety. So I guess I got the influence from there because everyone has played a role. You know, Whitney Houston, Mamus Bongile Kumalo,
Oh yeah.
everyone, like
Mhm.
everyone. It's very difficult to answer that question. It's very
This is true.
every time when like someone asks me, I'm like, who? Because everyone, everyone. So I got to love music also because now we listen to music like even jazz, and you know that on Sundays we're listening to choral music on Mhlobo Wenene, on Ukozi. You know, one moment now it's R&B, one moment it's umbaqanga, umaskandi, traditional music. It's Afro pop, it's Afro soul, everything. So I'm not sure if I need to find someone that I look up to or I'm okay like this because it's everyone. It's everyone,
Yeah, I mean,
to be honest.
the track was released this year, and it seems it's getting some good airplay. Like over here, I got it on Tuesday, and have been playing it, and it seems you've arrived. Don't forget about that, because in our musical business, like you wouldn't get any chance. You have one chance, and the first chance to get, you have to impress. If you don't impress, the people will just it's like that. But you've come through this, and from your bio, you said with stellar remixes from a host of caliber DJ producers, including Doug Gomez, DJ Kony, and Mark Palacios, Susa, Kenny Summit, ACN, Nash, La Musica, and Spencer M. Would you also add them to the influences that has that Ron was talking about?
Most definitely. Most definitely, because you come across, a producer or an artist on Spotify or Traxsource or these digital platforms, and you're like, I really love this sound. I wish maybe they can like remix a song like my song, or I wish we can just create something new together. Because now, each producer is unique.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They are interpreting things in their own way, and you're like, I wish I also thought of that. So can we just work together? Like, so it's always that when you hear a nice song, you're like, hey, people are creative. Like, how do you think of these things? And having to think that music has been created for years, but every day there's something new. Like I'm always amazed by that. That there's always something new. Like someone thought of something new. So it makes it more, you know, nicer to work, with a variety of people because now they're coming, from different countries with a different sound, different interpretation, different opinion, different perspective. So also as an individual, you grow. It broadens your creativity. It broadens your thinking. Like, okay, let me think out of the box. What else? Because with being an artist, you need to always try to sharpen your creativity. So it's one of the ways to actually sharpen to collaborate with different artists. So yeah, they've played quite a role because they are actually good. And it's funny, I've never met any of them.
Yeah, this is the world we live in right now. Because you can do things, overseas without, sort of.
It's amazing.
That's
It's
right.
amazing.
That's how it is. Here we are, the three of us, talking. Like, we are in the same place. That's how technology has brought us to together. And my next question before I hand it over to Petra is: you're successful. Your musical career is very, you've not been around for quite a, but you're successful at this point because
Thank you.
I want to put the wing beneath your wing to let you fly higher, because at some point in time we don't give up, or we don't become satisfied that, okay, I've created it, people are looking at me, people love my music, so I'm going to slacken off. No, I don't think so. But with this short period of time that you've been in the business, what was it when you heard Shona Malanga for the first time? You gave us the story about your university stuff and everything, but having to go into a studio to record, and then all of a sudden, bingo, you hear yourself by a DJ or on air. How did you feel?
Oh my goodness. You're the first person to actually ask me that. I'm like thinking, how did I feel? How did I feel? It's amazing. It is amazing because now I won't even want to lie. As an artist, sometimes you feel like, what's the point? Sometimes you feel like giving up because you feel things are slow. And there are people, obviously, who will go out their way to make sure that you don't succeed.
Yeah.
There are people who actually will do that.
Of course.
But now, having to see now that there are people who actually like love your music to an extent that they play your music, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm in disbelief because now you're like coming from a village. It plays a role, coming from a village, from a small town. You never see yourself surpassing some things, and like you look at maybe the background of the platform that your music is playing, and you're like, this is big. It's been around, and you're part of that story. So your name will be counted there. Like great artists, legends have been here, and here you are. So it's kind of like a boost. Like, let me just do this thing. So there is something there, because sometimes you need a reminder. Like, am I
Exactly.
doing this thing? So it boosts you. It just validates what you're trying to do. That I think there is something. We're going somewhere, because it's important to see progress. You
Yeah.
know, it's important to see progress, that okay, there is progress in this thing. So having your music being played, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm getting there. I am
You are there. You
Yeah,
are
especially,
there.
exactly. You're there.
thank you
You
so
are
much.
there. That's right.
Especially,
You are there.
thank you so much. Yo, it means a lot. Especially like for someone like me, I'm learning how to write. So sometimes I feel like it doesn't make sense what I'm trying to write. So now, but now they are playing my music, so it does make sense. Because I don't
Exactly.
think they're playing something that doesn't make sense. So the post, it's encouraging, it's motivating me so much, and I really appreciate that, because now my music is reaching in places that I never could have imagined. It's
Yes.
crossing borders without
Mm-hmm.
me having to like move. So yo, it's truly an honor. I'm so grateful. I'm
Awesome.
so grateful.
And
I
we
love
we,
it.
we are happy that you are here. Folks, we are in conversation with a sensational Pendua in
Oh my
South
goodness.
Africa. Very,
Thank you
very
so
great.
much.
You know what? We love propping up or giving, pushing a lot of artists. We have had
Yes.
Grammy Award with big artists, and that is what we are, here for. Because
Yeah.
as artists, Petra and myself as artists, at some point in time,
Yeah.
we should also realize that we were given a chance. So we also have to
Exactly.
give people a chance. And like some people will say, oh, well, there are some areas where people have to pay before they, no. Love the Afrobeat music. We don't do that. We really encourage artists out there to come out and show what they can do, to tell their stories. Because if they don't tell their stories, nobody's going to tell their stories for them. It's up to them to tell their stories. And you are telling your story right now. Petra.
Exactly. And thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your story. It's such a sensational story.
Yep.
It's so
Thank you so
inspiring.
much.
It's an honor
Thank
for
you.
you to
Thank you
be
so
here.
much. Thank you so
So,
much.
over the past couple of weeks, we actually had a couple of artists pretty much showcase a little bit of their sound. Would you be willing to do that for us today? Sing a little something for us?
Mm. Okay, can we take like recess, like 2 minutes? I can do some breathing exercises.
You're good. Just a little something, something.
Something,
Please,
something.
just like a minute, please, please, just a
Okay,
minute.
sure.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll
I'll
give
give you
you.
a minute.
please.
Okay, okay.
Sure.
That's right. Petra, I'm like that, People think, like you're an artist, you just go and perform in front of so many people. So
Mm-hmm.
with me, anytime, anytime I have performed to a large crowd, I get the cold feet. I get scared
Oh,
because
it's a super
oh
huge crowd.
yes, because I'm always thinking, oh, if I bump right here,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
going to be the end of me. So I'm always thinking that everything will go so good. I quite remember when we took part in the Make Poverty History by Sir Bob Geldof against
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and we performed with great musicians, Pink Floyd, Run DMC. We did
Amazing.
so many big artists out there.
Mm-hmm.
We performed with them. And the moment it was the time for us to mount the stage, I came out, I looked around, I had thousands and hundreds of thousands of people there. I, I had to go back and then, recollect myself. So I know what she's I know what she's going through. Have you experienced that before?
Oh my gosh, yes, I have. I was laughing because today actually is Rastafest, so definitely shout out
Oh,
Rastafest
that's right.
on Masani. So I was actually one of the headliners for Rastafest last year. And I remember, there was a lot of people there, a couple of hundred people there, So I remember when they called me on stage, my heart was like, boom, 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 boom. And it's like, your music. I know my songs, but sometimes it's like T-Vine goes blank. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh my gosh, I get on stage now. It's time to perform. But it's like, as I'm singing, in my mind, I'm trying to remember the words just as I sing it, and everything kind of came out nice and smooth. God is good.
That's right. So you've collected yourself, right?
Yes.
Oh, I had no choice. I had no choice.
The whole world is listening.
Three of us. I was just kind of telling it to the three of us. Don't say that. It's just the three of us right now. Okay.
Well, she's on a larger platform. I want to encourage her.
She good.
Okay.
So, which song the latest? Igusasane?
Igusasa or Shona, which one is okay for you?
Let's try Igusasa.
Okay.
Because I'm sure some people are still like, Igusasa, which one is that one? So, okay. Thank you for the opportunity once again. So the song that I'm about to render is Ikusasa.
That's your latest. That's your latest.
Yes,
right?
latest.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Ikusasa means future in the Zulu language. So basically, I'm just like trying to motivate, the youth, anyone that let's just go and fight for our future. Let's just do it. There's a part where it says, if you don't do it for yourself, no one will. So I was moved when you actually mentioned it, DJ TYB, that let's just do it for ourselves. So the song is about that, wake up, in the morning, and let's go, let's just do it, work with what you have, with what you have. So it goes like this. Vuka, vuka, sekusile bo. Walaka ngaka, kanti uthembeni na. Kanti wena uboni yini usele wedwa. Ngoba abanye bayale nabayale, abanye bashonale. My dear friend, the warmer the blanket, the colder the future. Vuka, 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 vuka wena. Bathi xoxo nexoxo liyazixhumela, wena ufuna uxhonyela ubani. Bathi xoxo nexoxo liyazixhumela, wena ufuna uxhonyela ubani. Asambeni webafowethu, siyolwela ikusasa lethu. Asambeni webafowethu, siyolwela ikusasa lethu. Asambeni nganzakwethu, siyolwela ikusasa lethu. Asambeni nganzakwethu, siyolwela ikusasa lethu. Usaphefumula, ithuba lisekhona. Indaba yakho ayipheleli lana. Thatha izikhali zakho ushone empini. Indaba yakho ayipheleli lana. Asambeni webafowethu, siyolwela ikusasa lethu. Asambeni webafowethu, ikusasa lethu. Thank you so much.
Wow. That was amazing. I had goosebumps. I still have goosebumps when I hear you sing. It just takes me to it takes me to Africa when I hear you sing,
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Before we leave in this program, we have to bring her back this is an unfinished business that we have with you. It's an unfinished business, so we have to bring you back. You've inspired us. You've given me goosebump. Goosebump. And how can people reach you?
All right. Thank you so much. I'm available on, I think, most social media platforms. Instagram, it's APHENDULWA _. On Twitter, it's APHENDULWA _. On Facebook, it's APHENDULWA _. On TikTok, it's APHENDULWA _. Pinterest, APHENDULWA _. On LinkedIn, it's APHENDULWA Nyezi. That's my surname, NYEZI. So yes, you can reach me there. My music is available on digital platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, TrackSource, the likes. So yes.
Awesome. You know what?
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure to have this conversation with you. And like Petra said, I took notes. And if a young person, if somebody else is listening to us with respect to your musical career and education, take your education very seriously, and everything will fall in its place. Sometimes we can do both. Other times, the human body can take so much and can take everything. So we'll really thank you. I know it's late over there, and we'll bring you back and then continue with this conversation. And until then, thank you.
Thank you so much. It was worth it. I don't even feel that it's late. Like it's like the days starting.
I know.
So thank you so much for having me. What you guys are doing, I really appreciate it. Creating such a huge platform for us to tell our stories. And oh my goodness, I love the music that you guys play. Oh, the catalog, crazy.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. I'm sure you can see that I've started following you guys on social media.
We do.
How'd you back? Yes.
And I'll give you a call or link you up with Ron. Ron has some songs for you.
Exactly.
And since you like it, he has some great songs for you. So you know what, APHENDULWA, thank you, and take care of yourself.
Thank
and
you.
take care of the family.
Keep well.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
God bless. Thank you.